Okay, so we are back. We will begin at First Chronicles chapter 8, verse 6. These are the sons of Ehud. They are heads of fathers, houses of the inhabitants of Geba. Excuse me. And they were carried into exile to Manahath, Naaman, Ahijah, and Gera. That is Heglam, who fathered Uzzah, and Ahihud, the Shaharim. And Shahiram fathered sons in the country of Moab, after he had sent away Hushim and Bara, his wives. He fathered sons by Hodesh, his wife, Jobab, Zibiah, Mesha, Malcolm, Jeuz, Sakiah, and Mirma. These were his sons, heads of fathers' houses. He also fathered sons by Hushim, Abitub, and Elpal. The sons of Elpal, Eber, Misham, and Shemed, who built Ono and Lod with its towns, and Beriah and Shema. They were heads of fathers' houses of the inhabitants of Aijalon, who caused the inhabitants of Gath to flee, and Ahio, Shashak, and Jeremoth, Zebediah, Arad, Adir, Michael, Ishpa, and Joha were sons of Beriah. Zebediah, Meshullam, Hizkai, Heber, Ishmerai, Isla, and Jobab were the sons of Elpal. Jacham, Zichri, Zabdi, Elini, Zilithai, Eliel, Adiah, Beriah, and Shimrath were the sons of Shimei. Ishpan, Eber, Eliel, Abdon, Zichri, Hananiah, Elam, Anthothijah, Ifdiah, and Penuel were the sons of Shashak. Shamshirai, Shaharai, Athaliah, Jarashiah, Elijah, and Zichri were the sons of Jeroham. These were the heads of fathers' houses according to their generations, chief men. These lived in Jerusalem. Jael, the father of Gibeon, lived in Gibeon, and the name of his wife was Maachah. His firstborn son, Abdon, then Zur, Kish, Baal, Zadab, Gedor, Ahio, Zecher, and Mikloth. He fathered Shimei. Now these also lived opposite their kinsmen in Jerusalem with their kinsmen. Ner was the father of Kish, Kish of Saul, Saul of Jonathan, Malchi, Shua, Abinadab, and Eshbal. The sons of Jonathan was Meribal, and Meribal was the father of Micah. The sons of Micah, Pithon, Melech, Terai, and Ahaz. Ahaz fathered Jehoiada, and Jehoiada fathered Alemeth, Asmaveth, and Zimri. Zimri fathered Moza. Moza fathered Benai. Rapha was his son. Elasa his son. Aziel his son. Aziel had 6 sons, and these are their names: Azircam, Bacharu, Ishmael, Zariah, Obadiah, and Hanan. All these were the sons of Azel. The sons of Eshek his brother: Ulam his firstborn, Jeush the second, and Eliphalet the third. The sons of Ulam were men who were mighty warriors, bowmen, having many sons and grandsons, 150. All these were Benjamites. The genealogy of the returned exiles. This is chapter 9. 1 second. Okay. Before we continue, excuse me, before we continue, let us sing a hymn. All people that on earth do dwell, sing to the Lord with cheerful voice. Him serve with fear, his praise foretell. Come ye before him and rejoice. The Lord ye know is God indeed. Without our aid he did us make. We are his folk, he doth us feed, and for his sheep he doth us take. O enter then his gates with praise, approach with joy his courts unto. Praise, Lord, and bless his name always, for it is seemly to do. For why the Lord our God is good, his mercy is forever sure, his truth at all times firmly stood, and shall from age to age endure. To Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, to God whom heaven and earth adore, from men and from the angel host, be praise and glory evermore. Alrighty. So let us continue. First Chronicles chapter 9. A genealogy of the returned exiles. So all Israel was recorded in genealogies, and these are written in the book of the kings of Israel. And Judah was taken into exile in Babylon because of their breach of faith. Now the first do dwell again in their positions in their cities were Israel, the priests, the Levites, and the temple servants. And some of the people of Judah, Benjamin, Ephraim, and Manasseh, lived in Jerusalem. Uthai, the son of Ammihud, the son of Omri, son of Imri, son of Bani, son of Bani, from the sons of Perez, the son of Judah, And of the Shilonites, Asaiah the firstborn and his sons. Of the sons of Zerah, Jeuel and their kinsmen, 690. Of the Benjamites, Salu the son of Meshullam, son of Hodaviah, son of Hesanua, Ebnaiah the son of Jeroham, Elah the son of Uzai, son of Michri, and Meshullam the son of Zephatiah, son of Ruel, son of Ibnijah, and their kinsmen according to their generations. All these were heads of fathers, houses according to their fathers' houses. Of the priests, Jedaiah, Jehoiarib, Jachin, and Azariah the son of Hilkiah, son of Meshullam, son of Zadok, son of Merioth, son of Ahitub, the chief officer of the house of God, and Adiah the son of Jeroham, son of Pashur, son of Malchijah, and Masai the son of Adil, son of Jehaziah, son of Meshullam, son of Meshilemith, son of Amir, besides their kinsmen, heads of their fathers' houses, 1,760, mighty men for the work of the service of the house of God. Of the Levites, Shemaiah the son of Hashub of Azircham, son of Hashabiah, of the sons of Merari, and Bakar, Heresh, Galal, and Mattaniah, the son of Micah, son of Zichri, son of Asaphat, and Obadiah, the son of Jemiah, son of Galal, son of Jeduthun, and Berechiah, the son of Asa, son of Elkanah, who lived in the villages of the Netophathites. The gatekeepers were Shalom, Akub, Talam, Ahiman, and their kinsmen. Shalom was the chief. Until then, they were in the king's gate on the east side, as the gatekeepers of the camps of the Levites. Shalom, the son of Kor, son of Abisaph, son of Korah, and his kinsmen of his father's house. The Korahites were in charge of the work of the service, keepers of the threshold of the tent, as their fathers had been in charge of the camp of the Lord, keepers of the entrance. And Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, was the chief officer over them in time past. The Lord was with him. Zechariah, the son of Meshelemiah, was gatekeepers at the entrance of the tent of meeting. All these were chosen as gatekeepers at the threshold were 212. They were enrolled by genealogies in their villages. David and Samuel and Seir established them in their office of trust. So they and their sons were in charge of the gates of the house of the Lord, that is, the house of the tent, as guards. The gatekeepers were on the four sides, east, west, north, and south, and their kinsmen, who were in their villages, were obligated to come in every 7 days, in turn, to be with these. For the four chief gatekeepers, who were Levites, were entrusted to be over the chambers and the treasures of the house of God, and they lodged around the house of God. For on them lay the duty of watching, and they had charge of opening it every morning. Some of them had charge of the utensils of service, for they were required to count them when they were brought in and taken out. Others of them were appointed over the furniture and over all the holy utensils, also over the fine flour, the wine, the oil, the incense, and the spices. Others of the sons of the priests prepared the mixing of the spices, and Mattithiah, one of the Levites, the firstborn of Shallum, the Korahite, was entrusted with making the flat cakes. Also, some of their kinsmen of the Kohathites had charge of the showbread to prepare it every Sabbath. Now these, the singers, the heads of fathers' houses of the Levites, were in the chambers of the temple, free from other services, for they were on duty day and night. These were heads of fathers' houses of the Levites, according to their generations, leaders. These lived in Jerusalem. Saul's genealogy repeated. In Gibeon lived the father of Gibeon, Jael, and the name of his wife was Maacah, and his firstborn son Abdon, then Zer, Kish, Baal, Ner, Nadab, Gedor, Ahio, Zechariah, and Mikloth. And Mikloth was the father of Shemim. And these also lived opposite their kinsmen in Jerusalem with their kinsmen. Ner fathered Kish, Kish fathered Saul, Saul fathered Jonathan, Malchi-Shua, Abinadab, and Eshbal. And the son of Jonathan was Meribol, and Meribol fathered Micah. The sons of Micah, Pithon, Melech, Tehira, and Ahaz. And Ahaz fathered Jerah, and Jerah fathered Melemeth, Asmaveth, and Zimri fathered Moza. Moza fathered Benai, and Rephaiah was his son. Elisa his son, Azel his son, Azel the 6 sons, and these are their names. Aziricam, Bakaru, Ishmael, Shariah, Obadiah, and Hanan. These were the sons of Azel, or Azel, excuse me. The death of Saul and his sons. Now the Philistines fought against Israel. And the men of Israel fled before the Philistines and fell slain on Mount Gilboa. And the Philistines overtook Saul and his sons. And the Philistines struck down Jonathan and Abinadab and Malchishua, the sons of Saul. The battle pressed hard against Saul, and the archers found him, and he was wounded by the archers. Then Saul said to his armor-bearer, "Draw your sword and thrust me through with it, lest these uncircumcised come and mistreat me." But his armor-bearer would not, for he feared greatly. Therefore Saul took his own sword and fell upon it. And then his armor-bearer and when his armor-bearer saw that Saul was dead, he also fell upon his sword and died. Thus Saul died, he and his 3 sons, and all his house died together. And when all the men of Israel who were in the valley saw that the army had fled, and that Saul and his sons were dead, they abandoned their cities and fled, and the Philistines came and lived in them. The next day, when the Philistines came to strip the slain, they found Saul and his sons fallen on Mount Gilboa, and they stripped him and took his head and his armor and sent messengers throughout the land of the Philistines to carry the good news to their idols and to the people. And they put his armor in the temple of their gods and fashioned his head in the temple of Dagon. But when all Jabesh Gilead heard all that the Philistines had done to Saul, all the valiant men arose and took away the body of Saul and the bodies of his sons and brought them to Jabesh. And they buried their bones under the oak in Jabesh and fasted 7 days. So Saul died for his breach of faith. He broke faith with the Lord in that he did not keep the command of the Lord, and also consulted a medium seeking guidance. He did not seek guidance from the Lord. Therefore the Lord put him to death and turned the kingdom over to David, the son of Jesse. David anointed king. Chapter 11. Then all Israel gathered together to David at Hebron and said, "Behold, we are your bone and flesh. In times past, even when Saul was king, it was you who led out and brought in Israel. And the Lord your God said to you, You shall be shepherd of my people Israel, and you shall be prince over my people Israel." So all the elders of Israel came to the king at Hebron, and David made a covenant with them at Hebron before the Lord, and they anointed David king over Israel, according to the word of the Lord by Samuel. David takes Jerusalem. And David and all Israel went to Jerusalem, that is, Jebus, where the Jebusites were. The inhabitants of the land, the inhabitants of Jebus, said to David, "You will not come in here." Nevertheless, David took the stronghold of Zion, that is, the city of David, David said, "Whoever strikes the Jebusites first shall be chief and commander." And Joab, the son of Zeruiah, went up first. So he became chief. And David lived in the stronghold. Therefore, it was called the city of David. And he built the city all around from Milo to complete circuit. And Joab repaired the rest of the city, and David became greater and greater, for the Lord of hosts was with him. David's mighty men. Now these are the chiefs of David's mighty men, who gave him strong support in his kingdom, all together with all Israel, to make him king, according to the word of the Lord concerning Israel. This is an account of David's mighty men: Joshabim and Joshabim, a Hakmonite, was chief of the three. He wielded his spear against 300,000 whom he killed at one time. And next to him among the three mighty men was Eleazar, the son of Dodo, and was Eleazar, the son of Dodo, the Ahohite. He was with David at Pasdammim when the Philistines were gathered there for battle. There was a plot of ground full of barley, and the men fled from the Philistines. But he took his stand in the midst of the plot and defended it and killed the Philistines, and the Lord saved them by a great victory. Three of the 30 chief men went down to the rock to David at the cave of Adullam, when the army of Philistines was encamped in the valley of Rephaim. David was then in the stronghold, and the garrison of the Philistines was then at Bethlehem. And David said longingly, "Oh, that someone would give me water to drink from the well of Bethlehem, that is, by the gate." Then the three mighty men broke through the camp of the Philistines and drew water out of the well of Bethlehem, that was by the gate, and took it and brought it to David. But David would not drink it. He poured it out to the Lord and said, "Far be it from me before my God that I should do this. Shall I drink the lifeblood of these men? For at the risk of their lives they brought it." Therefore he would not drink it. These things did the three mighty men. Now Abishai, the brother of Joab, was chief of the 30, and he wielded his spear against 300 men and killed them, and won a name beside the three. He was the most renowned of the 30 and became their commander, but he did not attain to the three. And Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, was a valiant man of Kabzeel, a doer of great deeds. He struck down 2 heroes of Moab. He also went down and struck down a lion in a pit on a day when snow had fallen. And he struck down an Egyptian, a man of great stature, 5 cubits tall. The Egyptian had in his hand a spear like a weaver's beam, but but Ben but Benaiah went down to him with a staff and snatched the spear out of the Egyptian's hand and killed him with his own spear. These things did Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, and won a name beside the 3 mighty men. He was renowned among the 30, but he did not attain to the 3. And David set him over his bodyguard. The mighty men were Asahel, the brother of Joab, Elhanan, the son of Dodo of Bethlehem, Shemoth of Harod, Helez of Pelonite, Ira, the son of Ikesh of Tekoa, Abiezer of Anathoth, Sibbecai the Hushathite, Eli the Ahohite. And we will stop there because we're a little past the 30-minute mark. But we will pick back up in the next video on 1 Chronicles chapter 11, verse 30. That was 1 Chronicles chapter 11, verse 30.